Hello, everybody. It's Adonica here from You Do You Unfiltered, and I'm sitting here with Geet, right? Did I say it
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Yay, I did. And it's beautiful to meet you again because we talked briefly before, and I'm excited to get into your lovely little story because when I asked you to write a little intro, you did. And I might just read it a bit. Is that okay?
Yes, of course.
Yeah, so I'm really gonna do a bad job on your last name. Your first name is Jyoti, but which is spelled differently than any other Jyoti I've ever seen in my life. And how do you say your last name?
Denote.
Dinota. And she likes professionally known as Gee. So no, it's Gee silent
T.
T, right?
No, it's like Geet.
Uh-huh.
That's just like how it is, but it's pronounced as if there was like a TH.
Oh, okay. Okay, because there's no H on this part.
Yeah, no, but it's like a soft kind of like Geet.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, and she's a self-published author, which is we're going to get into that because I need to know all about your how you got to be an author, and you have a great story about that too as well.
Mhm.
You've published, it looks like you've published 11 books. Is that correct?
I think it's 13 as of now.
Okay, 13 as of now. So the last month and the last month I've talked to you, two have come out. I have to keep up
Oh
with.
no, I forgot to change the number. I think I just
Oh,
published.
okay. That's okay. That's okay. That's okay. It's all good. Offering and each book offers a unique, compelling narrative that resonates with readers worldwide, which is great. Um, you're well, and then let's get into that. So I'm not going to read the whole thing because it's got everything. Let's keep it a little bit between us, and then we can go there. But the story, your story is very. I get lots of people that get a story and it's about this long. Yours is like 5 words. Yes. So we're going to hear about this because you just didn't get up one day and say, I want to be a writer, right?
Mm,
You didn't, did you? Yeah, something happened.
right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so let's get into that because it's interesting how people come about of doing what they're doing now. And because yours is only, I'm going to say it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It was 5 words. That was your
Mhm.
story. And let's get into that because it's quite unique. And I think it's really good for people to listen to because there's a lot of people, women especially, sitting in your shoes right now. So tell us, how did you become a writer?
So I was going through a period of depression back in 2021. Um, my mom's youngest brother plus his family had come from India to live with us. At the start, it was like no issue, but then like as months carried on, it's like, okay, are these people going to stay here forever? Are they just going to keep reloading this and that? And it kind of led me to being like very depressed. Like my face was like probably half the size, like getting like thinner and all
Yeah.
of that. Um, So, I spoke to my therapist about it. I did like a lot. And she said, like, just journal your feelings, this and that. And I was like, okay, this isn't helping. And then I read a book, and the main character in that book is called A Court of Silver Flames. She kind of shut the world out when she was depressed. And that's kind of what I like did. And I was like, you know what? If there's a book that I can relate to, the author, I don't really stand with her beliefs and stuff as much, but like the character, I was like, maybe I can have books that people can relate to as well.
Great. So
So
that's
that's kind of what started my writing journey. It was like my way of healing. So
ah,
in my debut novel, The Chaos Within Us, um Neethi's story with like her uncle is literally kind of everything that did happen with me. But other than that, I write romance. I've written I'm starting my first series. The book for my first series came out in, I want to say like June or July, and I'm currently like still typing up book two. I already know what's gonna happen in three and four. Like I
yeah.
kind of know it's like on my whiteboard. I'm like when an idea pops up, I just put it on the whiteboard because I'm like it's not time for you yet. Go in the back burner.
I don't want to forget about you though. It's a
Yeah,
good
I
one.
don't want to forget what I thought
Yeah.
of, but
Yeah.
you're not relevant right now.
Yeah.
Only when it's your time to shine.
Yeah, absolutely. So you have a big whiteboard in your room and you just make
I
notes.
have two small whiteboards. One of them has my affirmations, and then the other one I can like publish. Yeah.
Oh, this is interesting. I love it. I love the creativity part of it.
Um, so I'm doing like a 21-day challenge. So just ignore this on the bottom.
No, we're not
but
going to. By the way.
these are my like entwined. This is book 2. It's like, okay, check it off. And then like the little marks right there that say like book 4, book
Yeah.
3 right here,
Mhm.
like
So
little
you need
things.
a bigger whiteboard, I'm just saying.
I do need a one because I have this one too, but this is like my affirmations, my future.
Like you just that's funny. But you know what the funny thing is that I've read and then because in my
Mhm.
brain I should write a book too. But I follow a lady on Instagram, I can't remember her name, but she has post-it notes all over her room of
Yeah,
ideas and she's color coordinated it. So it's quite she'll go, okay, well that's chapter 2. I'll take those little post-it notes off. And
yeah,
it's quite an interesting process because your mind must be just rambling with thoughts when you have to write a book because you have to come up with ideas. I'm just
right,
yeah,
right, yeah. And even like a lot of the a majority, well, not a majority, but a few things in my books are based off real life, like the
right.
chaos within us, that story,
Oh,
contracted together. Arya and Muna's relationship at that time when I was writing was the relationship that my sister and I had as well, you know.
okay.
So there's,
Okay.
yeah.
So tell everyone what you do for a living though. Writing is not full time.
No, I do HR.
So
I do
oh,
HR. I
okay.
work for a company that works with kids that have autism.
Oh, that. Oh,
Mhm.
that's got to be a heart wrencher, eh? To get to go to work when you're working with kids with
Oh,
autism.
I we work remote. Our technicians, our behavior techs are the ones that interact with them because I do the admin side of things. So I don't.
Oh, okay, yeah, yeah. Do you ever get to
Yeah,
meet any of those beautiful kids? Because they're just very special and very
not yeah, because right now we are such a small company that we're just doing in-home.
okay.
But we just met yesterday actually. We met yesterday and we are expanding. So we're gonna have like center-based.
Nice, nice. So tell us about us. Okay, so you've written for 13 books.
Mhm.
Where can we get these books on like Amazon? Because that's so
Amazon. Yes, Amazon.
Amazon. So
Yeah,
when
you
the
just put my name, like my
yeah.
Jody Janota, just into Amazon and all the books will pop up.
Yeah, and then
Um,
okay, I have a quick question. Do you have an old-fashioned typewriter or do you just do everything on a computer?
no, I do it on my phone actually in the Notes app.
I did like
Oh,
that's so funny you say that because I have a friend who's a writer and he's
yeah,
in New York and he was taking his computer to get not his computer, his typewriter, his
yeah,
Smithsonian typewriter he called it to get fixed. And I'm like, oh, I have an electric typewriter we plugged in and as we were in school, we typed everything. You have
right,
computer, yeah, phone. So we had to use liquid
right.
eraser or you put something in and when you were doing your thesis or whatever you were doing in school, you so you don't have to worry about that. That's great that you can just do it off your phone because
Yeah,
it
I type it and then so I'll type the chapters every night. Like that's my unwind kind of like writing.
so
And
when you
then
come back from work, you'll write your book a bit.
no, I usually just take some time to be like with my like because I'm literally just close the laptop, go to the bed kind of situation. You know, I'm like, oh, I can't be late. I'm like this far from my from my
Exactly. That's hilarious. That's hilarious. I swear to God, that's the best room ever just to write in, to go in, close your door, and done.
right. And
Yeah.
then so no, I like unwind kind of, and I don't start writing until like so I'll clock out around like 6 or 5, depending on like whenever I want to, if I hit my
Yeah.
hours.
Yeah.
Um, my boss doesn't care what time you start as long as you get your hours in. She doesn't care if you're working 3 in the morning or if you clock in at 3 p.m. She's like, you're getting your hours in.
So you have that free time to do what you want to do. Okay, run us
Yeah.
through a day because I'm curious. Run us through a normal day for you,
Mhm.
everything, because for a writer, I find that writers are I've met a couple of them, and but their days are really specific.
Yeah, for me, I'll just like so like wake up, shower, brush,
Yeah,
do like the morning prayers, have breakfast, and then I will just be working.
yeah.
I'll text her that I'm clocking in because we don't have like a card or anything, so we just text her like, "Hey, I'm clocking in," and then we just. I kind of so I've noticed because a lot of I'm in charge of like auditing calendars basically, which means hey, like make sure everything on your calendar is complete so you can get paid.
Right.
So
Yeah.
I yeah, so I noticed like even I do this too. It's like here and there, if I have like a doctor's appointment, I can
Yeah.
have a gap in my calendar
Yeah.
because I won't be there for that time. And then I just come back and I get to work.
Clock in again. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, and I don't have to like tell her I'm clocking in again or anything. I just could say clocking in, and then at the end I'll just be like, okay, now I'm clocking out.
Okay. Yeah, absolutely. And so, and then you write. So when do you find is the best time of day for you to write?
Oh, at night. I do it at night around 9 p.m. just because
Right.
that's when I like unwind.
Like, and how long do you spend on that writing at 9 p.m.? Because by the time 9 p.m. rolls around, I'm in bed.
Oh no, I spend about an hour, 20 minutes maybe. Like I like if I have a chapter that I'm just like, you know what, I think I'm gonna go edit this chapter tonight. Or like okay, so I wrote a bonus epilogue for this book.
Yeah.
It's called Entwined Bonds. It'll be out in like October most likely,
Okay.
possibly November,
Okay.
but most likely like September, October, November on that time frame.
Okay.
Um, but the goal is to aim for October. And um, I completely forgot that all of my books are supposed to end on a cliffhanger. That's what I did with book one, and that's what I was supposed to do with book two. And I just wrote like a nice little happy ending. And then like I just remembered like I was in the middle of work and I'm like, oh shit, that's not a cliffhanger in there. How are people gonna know what book three is gonna be?
There's no clip. Okay, wait, I gotta make it a clip. Can you edit that then?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
I
okay.
just changed it to I changed it to who the main character of book three is because it's like for friends from college, for like female friends and for like guy friends, that
Yeah,
kind of
yeah,
so one of them was so Gia and Viraj have like been divorced. So
yeah,
book their book is gonna be book four
yeah.
because from like my beta readers and my arc readers, they're like, what happened? What happened? And I'm like,
That's
it's really
fair.
cool. You know, like you're gonna want to know what happened between them.
Right. So do you have a nice little group of following just waits for the next book then? Like,
Yeah.
is that how books work? I don't know. So I'm just saying, because you
Well,
just
I mean, it really just depends on the people that actually want to read. Because some people they'll be like, "Oh yeah, like I want to be a arc reader, I want to be a beta reader," right? You
yeah,
give them the book, and then they just have a book for free, and they don't do anything with it,
yeah,
and it's like,
absolutely.
oh,
Now,
you
I
know.
think I asked you this before. I listen to books. I don't, I'm a
Mhm.
walker, put a book in, go for a walk. Is it audio? Are your books audio yet?
Not yet, but
Okay.
we'll get there. We'll get
Okay.
there.
Oh, I'll have to wait because I I just like I just like to walk and just get into a book because
Yeah.
it's hard for me to get into a book when you're either socializing, your husband's talking to you and stuff like that. So when I'm on my walk for 2 hours, that's where I love putting a headset in and just listening to a nice little book. That'd be my goal. That'd be my goal. So not a lot of so I want to know. So when we at the end of this, people will ask where to go, and you'll send me all that information, and they can get your books from there as well.
Right.
A little
Yes.
bit about your family. Do you have kids? You're not married. Do you have brothers and
No,
sisters?
I do. Yeah, I have
Oh,
a brother and a sister.
oh, brother, and they all live at home.
No, my brother does. He's working on being a teacher, so he's getting his credential online.
Nice.
And
Yes,
then my sister lives about 2 hours away.
that's nice too, as well. That's great. So yeah, like kind of have the house to yourself to do all you want to do in there.
Well, basically, I'm mostly just like on my desk, locked in my room, just like doing HR things most of the day.
You just go get dinner, bring it back to your room, go get dinner. Is that what
I
you
try
do?
to clock out before dinner. After that,
Okay.
I'm just like, I'm
Yeah.
not working.
So
Yeah, like
you're not just gonna be in your room the whole entire time.
yeah,
Like,
no, I got yelled at. It's the first ever time my boss, like, not like properly, like, yelled, like,
they
oh, you're
kinda
an
yelled at you.
asshole. No, she's like, why do you keep working extra hours? Like, go take a break. Like, why do you work so much? This and that. And I'm like, you're the first boss to ever be like, you work too much. I'm like, let me just tell them, did I hear you?
Don't you love her? I love that boss already. I don't even
She's
know her.
amazing. Everybody loves her. And like so many people are quitting like this other company just to
Yeah.
work for her.
Yeah.
Yeah, so many people want to work for her now.
Well, absolutely. Well, I'm excited to have your books come out because I have not gotten a book, but once it's on audio, that's what I'll do because that's how I
Yeah.
like listening. And plus I drive a lot. So it's kind of like put a book in and drive, put a book in.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So it's
Yeah.
kind of,
I
and
just
is it
have to figure
audio?
out how that system works because last time somebody tried to do it and they're like, yeah, it's gonna be $2,500. And I'm like, I don't have that kind of money.
Well, can it go on Spotify? I don't know. I'm just throwing it out there because like this
I
whole
mean, I think
entire
so,
yeah.
but so I would have to find like someone to kind of do like the male voice. I could do like the female and the narration because obviously the way I wrote it, I want to get that emotion out, like
Abs-
sometimes somebody might just read
absolutely.
something. when I was like trying to be sarcastic with it or stuff like that.
You don't have to get some kind of acting
Mhm.
something.
Right.
You got a friend out there that could do it for you.
Right.
Yeah, yeah, exactly, exactly. So I'm excited about that one. So we're gonna tell everybody that you need to get these books because they're on
Right.
Amazon, and apparently they're really nitty gritty, man. That's
Yeah. I try to write about like topics that are like taboo that nobody really wants to talk about. So I do hit topics of like domestic violence, infidelity, endometriosis, fibroids,
yeah.
um, all of that stuff.
All those
But it's
women,
not like it's a self help or like a dark book. It's still like bits and parts.
yeah,
And I actually do because there's a movie that just came out from an author, which you guys will know probably. But I don't know if I can say it. Uh, let's just say the movie is based on domestic violence, and it has Blake Lively in it. We'll just
oh,
put
I know
that.
which one you're talking about.
Okay, yeah. But
I,
my book
I'm
actually
about to
comes,
read it. I'm about to listen to it on my walks.
yeah, my book actually comes with resources at the end.
Ah, ah,
Mhm. If
wow.
I write
I
about
think
it,
you could say
I'll put
that.
resources
Tell
at the end.
people that the movie's not. The movie's out. I know my
It's
hairdresser's going.
out, but it has no DV hotline at the end.
Really?
Or moving. That's what I mean, I'm not gonna go watch it because I as an author, and as like somebody that's like active on like the book world,
Yeah.
I can't support Coho at all.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it's just something that I can't like, here's my money. Like, no. You know, like
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah, so it's not somebody that I'm like willingly like going to support.
Yeah.
But like Ali Hazelwood, I actually just got her book yesterday. It's coming today and it just
Mhm.
got released. Like I like the fact that she's like an author that like supports kind of like the causes that I like vibe with basically.
Yeah.
But I also like the fact that she's like a STEM, like she adds like the STEM aspect into everything as well
Oh,
because
right.
it's like her background. You know, she
Absolutely.
works
Okay,
so
here's a funny question. Just a funny question. So when you're going out and someone says, "What do you do?" What do you tell them? So you're meeting
I
somebody new.
oh
And
on so here's the thing on the dating, like even on the apps and stuff, I put that I'm an author
yeah.
just because I want to see who will still like be like, okay, you know, like, and I did get like quite a few matches. Like when I joined, they said like 50 plus, and I was like, okay, and I was just like going through and going through. I'm like, that's crazy. But I like to say I'm an author mostly because I want to see like who still wants to just be, because like others only make like so much.
Yeah.
And then eventually when like we meet, I'm like, hey, you know, we kind of like talk about it. Maybe like the third day or something, I'll be like, you know, I do HR on this. Like, I actually, that's my main job.
Yeah.
Like, I wanted you to know that I'm not just an author, but I wanted to see if you were worth like the third date or something.
And most and how's that work out?
Oh, I haven't been on one yet, but like, yeah. But no, yeah, I feel like with that, it also like saves time to kind of like not like filter out.
Hmm.
I guess that would be the word to like filter out the people that you don't want.
Yeah,
But it also like kind of is like, okay, this person's kind of like serious, and it's like, oh my god, we're meeting for the third time already.
and you've written 13 books, so come on, man. That's like
Yeah,
pretty
so
serious.
I'm like, yeah, that kind of is like I've written this many, and you know,
Yeah.
there's a lot like you know with like my trust as well. My trust has been like shattered
Yeah.
because of my friends,
Yeah.
and it was like back to back, like 3 months back to back in a row. So I'm just kind of like rebuilding trust and stuff. So I'm like off the apps and everything because I'm just like I don't know who to trust
Yeah,
anymore.
absolutely. Yeah,
You
there
know?
it's crazy.
Yeah,
There's no trust like when you clap, you get the clap sign. There's no trust sign going on.
yeah.
You have to go in full force, but it's kind of scary. Kind of
It
really
is. It's like, oh, great, here we go again. And
scary.
like the therapist I had during the time that I was working on trust,
Yeah.
he wasn't like my favorite,
Yeah. Yeah.
right? So I only met with him like 3 times, and then the therapist even now with the situation that happened with like the fact that I almost got like I could have
Yeah.
been disappeared. Yeah, like yeah, that's so
Okay.
scary.
If
Um,
you're listening to us right now,
yeah,
Jody had this crazy thing happen to her, and it kind of goes right into like what you do as an author because you're very creative. But
yeah,
I like when you told me this before we started this interview, because we didn't record it, I don't know if you want to talk about it, but that's just bizarre. And being a woman, to be
Yeah,
honest with you, is super bizarre. So she almost got kidnapped.
basically, yeah. And there's
Basically,
a male and a female in the car.
yeah.
Because sometimes you're like, oh, like it's a female, like, oh, I'm safe,
Yeah,
like
well,
I'm
that's
not
fine.
safe,
Yeah.
like it's just another no. And when they parked where I locked them at the shopping center where they parked, they left the door open. So that means that there could have been a third person inside of the car
Yeah, wait.
as well. And they were probably thinking that I'm gonna come back like around, but I was like,
Nope. No,
I
and
went to the police station instead. That's what I did.
yes, exactly. And it wasn't a van, was it? It was just a normal car.
It was a silver Lexus.
Oh, Jesus.
Mhm.
Seriously? So, okay, so only this would happen on on my podcast that I talked to this beautiful lady right here. She's an author of 13 books, and then
Yeah.
she tells me this story that she almost got kidnapped. I'm not,
Right.
I'm just like, wow. So
Yeah.
that just blows my mind, and I think thank God you're still with us because
I know. I'm just every day I'm just more thankful.
yeah, more
Yeah.
thankful. So I have a quick question. What's your mom and dad think about you writing books? Have they read them?
So they don't like really speak English that well.
Okay.
So they haven't like read them and stuff. But down the road, I'm thinking like, if a publisher does pick me up, I am going to do like translations of the English copies.
Yes, and that's easy to do these days. All you have to do is put it in through like on an app, right? So it's kind of
Yeah, well, not just that, but I speak Punjabi and I can like read and write it too. So I
yeah,
can just like change the keyboard or like get a Punjabi keyboard and just like type, 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 type.
and just type away. Oh my gosh, you got the longest, beautiful fingers. You sure you don't want to be a surgeon of some kind? I just say
No,
finger.
it's my nails are they're
Oh,
about to come off. See, they need to come off. That's what it is.
that's so fantastic. I love you. You're just so honest. You're just totally honest and authentic. It's like whatever. It's just my nails.
No,
Yeah,
no. This is actually done by a student.
I
Like
love.
a student who's barely learning.
Yeah, I love. Well, you gotta help them out when they're barely learning. So the only way they're gonna learn is by practice, right? Just like
Exactly.
you. Yeah. Okay. So I have a fun question for you. So Chat GPT and AI are out there, and I know a lot of people are using that through school and all that stuff. What do you think about
Right.
writing with that?
No, 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 no. Do not use it for your books.
I
Because
just wanted to know.
yeah, no, because here's the thing. Like I'm an editor as well. I charge $110 for editing services.
Yeah.
Um, which is like regardless of word count or whatever, like it's
Yeah.
110.
Yeah.
And so with that being said, I've come across like people that use AI in their books, and it's just repetitive and repetitive and repetitive because it only knows like so much of what it wants to. It's
Right.
like all that stuff. So there's some like words that it'll be like tranquility is one word that's like repetitive.
Yeah.
Palpable is another word that gets like repeated, and I'm just like, you used AI in your book.
Oh,
Like,
didn't you?
I'm
I
like, I should be charging you way more than $110 to edit this right now.
Exactly. I would, if I was writing a book, I would write a sentence and say, grammatically check this, please.
Yeah,
Don't.
like grammar wise, there's like Grammarly and stuff too.
Yeah,
Like
I know. Yeah.
I'll run it through that. Like I don't care, but don't use
But
AI.
don't throw an idea in there. Write it first. Get it, do the
Yeah.
grammar and stuff like that. So if you had had anything to say to the new authors out there that want to write a book, what would be a great takeaway for them?
Oh, for me, one
First.
thing I always give like the same advice, and I think I'm gonna keep giving it is just to start.
Yeah.
Like when you write, like in college and high school, and you're taught beginning, middle, and end.
Yeah.
For me, the way I do it is whenever the idea pops in my head, that's when I'll be like, okay, this is how I want it to end. So I'll write the ending first. I'll write the epilogue literally as the first thing.
Oh,
And
really?
then go from there. Or I'll write the middle. Like whatever pops up first will get written first.
Mhm.
Like if you check my phone, I still have to put like the beginning together, but I have the endings and I have like the middle parts. But I'm like, okay, in this chapter advance, like basically,
What's the
like
hard,
what am I missing? And then I just go and add that in.
what's the hardest to write? Like the beginning, the middle, or the end? What's the hardest to write?
I think the middle because you want to keep your readers still engaged.
Okay, yeah. Okay.
You want them to be like, okay, like you want to keep them engaged and want to make sure that, they don't like DNF the book or anything of that sort.
And so where does the title come in? So where does the title come to you right away, or after you write a few, or how does that work to get it?
For me, I usually just kind of
Mhm.
there's some things like in Beautiful Consequence, Beautiful Mistake. It's as I was writing the book that it just felt like, you know what? I want to put a title reference in the book. So like it'll be like it'll say like something, something, Beautiful Consequence, and just like and then people will be like, oh, that's why the title is named, like the book is named this and stuff like
So
that.
your brain doesn't work A, B, C, D, it works like A, G, C, Z. Kind
Yeah, 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 yeah. Yep.
of like all over the place. And then you write things down on your little baby whiteboard there that you absolutely need a big one or post-it notes stick all over your room.
Right? Yeah. I mean, there's back to school sales going on. I just gotta like once I'm comfortable again to step out
Yeah.
alone, you know.
Yes,
Yeah.
absolutely. And please take your time in doing that and stay safe. That's all I have to say.
Yeah, that's what I was telling you. Just like going back, like so after my male therapist, I had like seen him for 3 weeks,
Yeah.
maybe like no 2. I saw him 2 times, and I was like, yeah, we're not vibing. I think yeah, 2 to 3, something like that. And then this new one, I'm not vibing. Like she said, I'm like, I'm traumatized. And she's like, no, we don't want to call it trauma. Let's not call it trauma. She's like, that's a big term to use. And I'm just like, okay. And then I told her, like, I'm noticing more cars, like this and that, like frequency illusion. I gave her the proper, literally like what we learn in psychology class, because that's like a prereq for like a lot of classes.
Yeah.
So I told her the word for like psychology. And she's like, what is that? And I'm like, okay. And I'm just like, I'm done. I quit.
Why?
So
You got
I know that I'm gonna lose my like insurance because I'm like working now. So I'm gonna like, welcome to America.
yeah,
You don't get free here.
yeah, you don't
But
get either up here either.
it's
So
not free up there either.
no,
Oh.
it depends. That's what we
Yeah.
that's like you have to jive. You got to jive when you have a therapist. You have to totally jive, and especially with your trauma that you just had. You got to jive. You just can't just go in
Mhm.
and if you don't feel it, you're not why waste your time?
Yeah. So that's why I know that I'm gonna be seeing her like one last time. And yesterday she literally said, yesterday she's like, if you're gonna change therapist, if I were you, like personally, and this is just personal, like literally word for word, I'm quoting her personally, and this is just personal. Do not ask for your records to give to the new therapist. And I'm like, okay.
Okay. This is the most authentic conversation I've had in a long time. I feel like we've been friends forever and you're just telling me what's going on in your life.
We'll just catching up after so long.
No, that's okay. It's all good. It's all good. It's kind of funny. But so everyone out there that knows G is an author to start. She had a little trauma in her life. We went there, but this is
Yeah.
what it is. This is you do you, and you know what? You got to talk about it. You got to talk about it. And I just want to say that I'm just super happy that you're safe, and we still
Yeah.
got to do this. We had a little trouble at the beginning because of your computer. There's just maybe we just had to both of us breathe because we knew this
Right.
would happen. But I think for this is a learning experience in all areas. If you want to be an author, she says, just do it, right? Do it.
Yeah.
Yeah, do it. Whatever comes to your thoughts, write it down like you do on your little baby whiteboard, which you're going to get a big one, I know now. Or the other thing I did at home is I got chalk paint. So I made a chalkboard on my wall.
Oh,
Yeah,
nice.
it's quite fun to do because I draw on it sometimes. It's not here, it's at home. And what the neat thing about it is that you don't start with the title and you don't start with the beginning. You usually start with the end of a book.
Middle, end, whatever. Yeah. The
Whatever.
only reason I know my titles for this series is because I wanted to give the series a name. So it's called the Entwined series.
Absolutely, absolutely. And
Yeah.
then
So
on the squirrel side, you
mhm.
got to jive with your therapist to get over this trauma that you experience as well. And I just want to
Yeah,
give you
no,
a big ass hug.
I'm gonna go back to my like I literally have a favorite therapist because she was just the best.
Yeah.
She left the company that I was with, but she told me like
And
she was
every
on like Psychology Today and stuff like that. So I found her, I called her, she's like, how'd you get my number? I was like, the website?
go back to her.
I am. I'm actually gonna text her after this if she has my she's like I was like I asked her last week because it was so fresh. Like it happened Monday, August 12th.
Yeah.
So then Tuesday I met with both therapists, and I was like, yeah, I should have met with my favorite therapist after I met with the new one, because the new one was just like, I'm
Just
like, what's wrong with these therapists? Like, why do I not vibe with any of them?
Well, it's fresh trauma. I'm just gonna say. But you
Yeah,
know what? There's also a lot of beautiful people in the world, and you just happen
yeah,
to the stupid ass two of them that want whatever. But you know what? All I want to do is give you a big ass hug. Don't forget to go outside, even if it's just outside your door,
yeah.
because that
No, I'm
energy
just
is.
scared to throw the trash away, and they're like, "Are you kidding me?"
Yeah,
Like my
well, you know
is my
what?
trash. Like,
You
are you
know
kidding?
what? To be honest with you, that's just norm. That's norm. That's norm. So if that doesn't happen right away, doesn't happen right away. You do you. That's what this whole thing is about. So you do you. What are you listening to?
That noise. I don't know if you heard it, but my like little pen holder just broke. Like with everything that was holding the expo markers.
Gee, wants a bigger board.
It wants a bigger board, exactly.
Bigger board. She goes, that lady over there is right. I need a bigger. Can't hold all this weight.
That's the universe. I'm like, that's the universe's sign. Like that happened yesterday. There was like ants all over my bed. I don't even know. I came home from like the DMV, and there's ants like all over. And I told my brother, I was like, see, that's the universe's sign that I need a new bed set.
Exactly, exactly. And maybe going out to get your big ass whiteboard is you're going to be your first trip out with somebody.
Yeah. I mean, I've been out, like I went to the DMV with my mom yesterday. I
Yeah,
like
with
kind
somebody.
of test like right now it's like, like that saying, dipping your toes in the water.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's kind of what it is right now. And
Oh,
eventually, like, I'm like, eventually there's going to come a time where I'm going to be like the past,
yeah.
because from the advice that I'm getting, more versus less, more people are like, you need to update the police of like, what kind of car it is, like
Yep.
like,
Know
you know,
everything.
yeah. So I'm like, okay, I'm
It's
going to
going to
update.
be you. It's going to be somebody else. So
Exactly. But then here's the thing. My one of my friends, she was like, well, like if those people come back, what if they target your family? And then that's why I'm like, oh shit.
yeah.
That's
Well,
why I didn't like report it. Yeah, like, oh, I know what kind of car it is and this. I'm like, I don't want them to come after my family.
no. And you know what? That's everybody's going to throw you so out off the cuff kind of things right now because it's fresh and you're just going to take it
I'm
all.
more paranoid. That's what I feel like. I'm getting more like in. Like
Yeah.
that's the episode indoors.
Write that down on that little whiteboard. Endure. Oh, I love that you came on and I really appreciate you sharing with us. Just know she is an author. Her books are on Amazon. Is there is there a link that we can have for people to go to Amazon? Is there a kind of a link or they
They
just
could just type my name in, but I can give you like a link. Yeah.
oh, yeah,
And also I'm gonna do like a self-help book with all the therapy notes that I have, just for people that can't afford
keep it
therapy. I've gone through like trust breaking, I've gone through like family, I've gone
trauma.
through a lot of trauma. So I'm gonna be releasing that, and that might just be like the last book. And right, I do have like a poetry book as well, but right now I'm kind of focusing on like my entwined series.
Yes.
And then so I don't so between the one thing I wanted to do previously was my last book, like when I'm like done, like okay, I'm done.
Yeah.
And it's going to be the sequel to my first ever book.
Okay.
And then but now I think that the last book that I'll write is that like my notes from therapy, nonfiction kind
Hmm.
of situation.
Yeah. Well, I look forward to it.
Yeah.
I look forward to eventually listening to it. If not, I'll have to just go into Amazon and get it because I
Yeah.
can't wait to start reading a little bit about you, but just get better. Just feel better, get comfortable in your skin again, get comfortable
Right.
with the outdoors. That's the most important thing right now is take care of you.
Yeah, definitely.
Absolutely.
That's what I'm focusing on. Yeah.
Oh, I know, eh? Stupid people. That's all I have to say. Like,
Yeah.
go, makes me
No,
angry.
I told my coworker what happened, and I was like, you know what, karma's gonna get them. And she's like, karma don't miss. When it comes, it slaps. Like,
It slaps you, right? Well, I'm hoping
yeah,
it slaps them more than just slaps them. I hope they just don't.
yeah, yeah.
But it was wonderful to talk to you, and we'll put all your links.
Mhm.
on Spotify and YouTube, and we're gonna flip over to Apple eventually too as well. So it's kind of fun.
Okay. Yes.
And yeah, so yeah, it's been wonderful talking to you. I'm excited to read all your books, all
Thank
13 of them. I'll make sure I'll correct that.
you. Yes.
All 13 of them. And you just get better. Please get
Awesome.
better. Big hugs from everyone that's listening. Big hugs to you for getting on this today, even though what happened to you was just recent. Thank
Yes, of course.
you
Yeah.
very much for coming on and sharing your story. All your stories. There's
Oh
so many
yeah.
stories going on. And the next
It went like a roller coaster. It's like
I feel like I'm on a speed roller coaster with you. I'm like, what just happened? What's going on? But that's okay. But I
yeah,
look forward to checking in with you again eventually and just see how you're doing, if that's
yeah,
okay.
yeah, of
Ab-
course,
Absolutely.
definitely. Maybe after that, I'll have like a few more books out. We can like schedule something for like December
Yes,
or November.
absolutely. And
Yeah,
and hopefully you have a bigger whiteboard.
I'll try to have a bigger whiteboard or like post-its.
Post-its in different colors. That's what I heard.
Right,
Post-its.
right.
But yes, thank you for coming on, and I will talk to you soon again.
Of course, yes. I'll try to see if I can find something in November.
Yeah, well, you better.
Yes,
Just kidding. But all the links, send me all the links, everything,
I
and
did. I sent it.
oh, awesome.
Yeah,
Awesome. So
all
we'll
right.
talk soon.
Awesome. Bye.